Well, hello everyone. It's Angela with Trove Tarot, also known here on YouTube as Mystic Moon. Welcome to my second channel and welcome to a general reading on your healing and empowerment. You know, regardless of what you're dealing with or what's going on in your life, I just want you guys to take what resonates for you and get rid of anything that doesn't. Because I did that really big Chinese New Year astrology reading on Sunday, I just decided to skip the weekly reading like I would normally do on Tuesdays here on this channel. So I know that I'm a little late in the week bringing you guys a reading, but I just did not feel guided to do too many back-to-back types of things after that big reading. So I will go ahead and resume with the weekly messages next week. But today I just wanted to go into some healing and empowerment general messages for whoever might need them. So just, of course, did I already say this? Take what resonates, get rid of anything that doesn't. And I have bought a new deck, and so I wanted to use it for today's reading. It's really cute. It is called the Naughty Oracle, okay? So it has a little bit of some naughty language in it, so if that's not your sort of thing, definitely click off the video. But this is just a really fun little deck that just has a creative way of just getting in our face and telling us what we need to know, what we need to hear. So anyways, this will be listed down below, as well as the other two tarot decks that I'll be using. So today's crystal, I actually got this one just yesterday. It's called Fuchsite, and this particular crystal is really effective for healing. It helps to balance our emotion, dispels any kind of illusions, and also enhances our female creative potential. So it's feminine stone. And the green, of course, is very useful for anybody who wishes to be of service to others, allowing yourselves to do so, but also being balanced, taking care of yourself. So this is going to be like for you empaths out there, you overgivers, you overdoers, you know, that sort of energy. So I just wanted to use that in today's reading. So anyways, you guys, let's go ahead and just jump into the reading. We're going to use this deck as kind of like prompts for questions. And I'm going to look into the book just to get the suggested questions, not really the meaning. So let's go ahead and get started. So these are the backs of the cards here, super cute. And we're just going to see, what do we need to know at this time? What is the first message that wants to come up for anybody that may need a message at this time? Oops, that was a lot that popped out, but let's just get one. All right, we're just going to start off with one. This is the first message. Shitting rainbows kind of day. That's pretty funny. So look at the artwork, you guys. There's literally someone on a toilet, okay? And they're shitting rainbows kind of day. But the key word is release guilt. That seems to be some sort of energy, perhaps, that some of you guys are going through, maybe feeling guilty about something, needing to release guilt in your life. So the suggested question for this is, what guilt is holding you back, and what do you need to do to remove it? What relationship do you have guilt with? What self-care can you bring into your day without any guilt attached? So let's go ahead and go into the tarot cards to see if we can get some additional information on what this guilt might be about, and maybe how to take care of ourselves in situations where we feel guilty. This deck is called the Guardian Angel Messages Tarot. All right, what do we need to know about this releasing guilt energy? Okay, so we have the Knight of Fire. The Knight of Fire is Sagittarius energy. This says confident, passionate, and adventurous. So I'm already getting a message here, but I want to get the second tarot card just to complete this. This deck is called the Angel Wisdom Tarot. What else do we need to know with this Knight of Fire, Sagittarius energy? And we have the Page of Fire. Wow. So there's a lot of fiery energy. What is fire, you guys? Fire is action. Fire is passion. Fire is creativity. It's the things that we want to do. It's the things that spark our interest. It's the things that we want to do in this life, the thing that gives us drive. So some of you guys, what I am seeing here is that some of you are feeling really guilty because you want to do something different. You want to go off. You want to, like, you feel like you're either missing out on something, or maybe you've made a commitment to some sort of a project or someone or something, and you're changing your mind. You're changing your mind because you feel like there's something else that you want to do instead, or you feel like there's something else out there for you. It's almost like you feel like you're being called, like your destiny is calling you towards something different. And other people around you might be making you feel guilty, like you can't do that because they need you, or you can't do that because that would just be really selfish. How dare you take care of yourself? How dare you go after your dreams? How dare you do this? How dare you do that? So I'm just seeing that there is somebody, whether it's you or someone else, that there is guilt surrounding someone wanting or feeling driven to go in a different direction. Now, for some of you guys, this could be someone that needs to grow, that needs to live, that needs to find themselves. So this could either be your child, this could be somebody that you're dating, or a friend. Sagittarius is all about expansion, okay? Sagittarians need a lot of independence to basically do their own thing. And if you don't give that to a Sagittarius, they're more than likely going to bolt and run for the hills. Look, guys, I'm a sun and rising Sagittarius, so I think I can say a thing or two about it. Anybody that wants to control me, anybody that wants to box me in, anybody that wants to tell me what to do and how to live my life, I am going to run for the frickin' hills. That's not going to be every Sagittarius out there, but that's just the energy that I'm getting. And there have been times where I have gotten caught up in guilt trips. Yes, I have gotten caught up in the I have to do this and I have to do that. And I can only remain in that energy for so long before I start to feel stifled, cramped, and even resentful. So it's always best to make sure that you're honoring yourself. And the thing is that's of course within balance as well. You know, if you are in a relationship or if you are a parent, there are certain commitments and responsibilities that you have. So I'm not trying to suggest free for all, do whatever you want. You should always honor what you want to do, okay, to a degree. But this to me is very much about something that you just have, like a passion. That page of Wands is that spark, that passion, that idea, that thing that you want to do. That thing that fuels your fire, it fuels your life. And you want to travel. You want to go off on your own. You want to live. You want to figure out something. You want to find yourself. You want new adventures. Maybe your partner doesn't have the same type of desires. Not everybody that we connect with is going to be for us forever. So some of you guys could be going through a little bit of a crisis where you're just like, I'm just not sure that the life that I'm in or the life that I'm living or even what I've committed to is exactly what I want to be doing. So you're looking to expand and make some shifts. Now, this doesn't mean that you have to abandon people or abandon situations, but this is about communicating perhaps to someone or just even yourself that there's some room that you need. There's some things that you want to do. And if there is someone that's trying to hold you back, or if there's someone that doesn't want to let you go, and they're literally cramping your style and they're holding on to you for selfish reasons, then maybe it is time for you to release that person and not feel bad about it. You know, there are times in my life where I've had to release certain things, and I grappled with that decision, feeling kind of bad, worrying about what the other person might, think or feel, being the empath that I am. And then I just had to get to the point where my well-being was more important than that person's feelings, especially because it was toxic for me. And so when you have that thought or you have that feeling and it's burning and it's like, you're just like, I just know that this is what I need to do. Sometimes we have to follow that because that's our instincts, that's our intuition, that's our higher self saying that something is missing, something isn't right for us. And we are allowed to change our minds. It's interesting because there have been times in my life where I have been really pissed at people for changing their minds. Well, you said this and you said that and you led me to believe this and you led me to believe that. Well, I think that we all have a responsibility to make sure that we're not promising people things, right? But I've even done that myself, where I bit off more than I can chew, or I was feeling really good in the moment and said, yes, sounds great, only to change my mind later. So that's just part of being a human being, you guys. We're constantly going to expand and grow, and who you are today may not be who you are a year from now. So don't be afraid to change. Don't be afraid to give your ideas a chance. Don't be afraid to plant new seeds, okay? So I'm going to read some of these messages here on these cards. This says confident, passionate, adventurous. Look at him. He is on this trail. He is excited. He is on this path. He is going places, right? We have enthusiastic, optimistic, creative, impatient. News of exciting opportunities, allowing your creativity to soar, doing things that fuel your passions, finishing what you start. So there is some kind of fire and fuel that's driving the ship right now, which is you. And we have to pay attention to where it's trying to take us. Okay? Because if some of you guys have played small for a very long time, or you guys have been living your lives for other people, now it's time for you to do some things for you. Of course, within reason, being responsible, okay? So that's the first message, you guys. So really, I feel like that did answer the questions that came up for number 35, which was, what guilt is holding you back and how to remove it? What relationships do you have guilt with? That could have answered some of your guys' questions. And what self-care can you do to bring about this, feeling of releasing this guilt? So maybe not everything was answered, but I feel like the messages were definitely clear and there. All right, so let's go ahead and go into the next one. What is the next message? What else do we need to know at this time? Shitful shadow side. Balance your good, bad, and ugly. So perfect and so necessary. Yes. So many times, especially in the spiritual community, there can be certain people that really talk about how your shadow side is like this bad thing, that it's evil. It's not anything that you want to pay attention to. It's something that you should fear. It's something you should suppress. And, to each their own, but for me, the balancing of these energies, balancing of our shadow and light side is really necessary just to operate as a pretty steady, grounded human being in this life. So if there is something here that stinks, figure out where the odor is coming from and figure out how to clear it out. And the only way to do that is by embracing it and seeing it. Okay, we have the 5 of air, the 5 of swords. This says mistakes, melodrama, and reassessment. So this is the deal. Let's not beat ourselves up too much, okay? We do have to take some accountability for decisions that we've made that may have led down certain paths, of course. We can't just go around blaming everyone else for our problems. Definitely not. It takes 2 to play that freaking chess game. Right? Sometimes there are people, though, in this life that are just really out for themselves or just out to hurt people, whether they mean to or they don't know about it. They're not aware of themselves. It's happening. And it happens all the time. And I'm sure that some of you guys have been in the line of fire with some of those types of people, or maybe other people have gotten in the line of your own fire, which could be, your traumas, your unhealed wounds, etc. So to me, this is all about reassessing the board of our life, reassessing the game of life, reassessing our position. Where do we want to position ourselves on this board, this chessboard of life? Okay. What new strategies do we want to come up with? Do we want to block certain people out? Do we want to learn certain lessons? Do we want to say, I'll never let love in again. I'll never trust again. I say, fuck that. That right there is letting that other person or that situation that caused you that trauma have so much power over you that they completely win and you lose. So to me, this is about picking yourself up off the losing maybe side of things and start winning again, as in start being in that winning. Was that from Charlie Sheen's interview like years ago? I don't know why that's just coming to my head, but it's very much just being in that state of mind where it's like a can do. I can do this. I can get back up. I can pick myself up from this losing streak or this shit streak, or this just this bad down, like this bad time, this down time. And I can turn things around for myself by changing some things around, by changing my position, by changing myself, by changing my thoughts perhaps, or maybe doing some healing, etc. So it's never too late to balance ourselves. And sometimes you guys will meet people actually that will help to trigger you so you can balance that shit, for sure. Yeah. So we have the Two of Swords to me, which is about people that are unwilling to change. So some of you guys, guess what? You're dealing with somebody. It doesn't matter how much you've tried. You've tried 1,000,000 times. You've tried and tried and tried time and time again, and nothing is changing. Sometimes you just have to walk away from situations and people that don't want to change or that they're just not willing to change, period. Maybe some of them just can't. It's a shit show, and it's something that maybe we just need to walk away from, okay? So instead of being upset about it, instead of trying to fight to make this work, this is about walking away from the game, okay? Because some of you guys could be in some sort of game. Somebody's playing a game. Somebody likes to play games. People that play games are going to get nowhere in life. Nowhere. They're just going to keep going around in the same circles over and over again, and nothing is ever going to change. And so they're going to remain literally in an insane state. This could, of course, be you, but I feel like this could be someone that you're dealing with. So sometimes we do have to look at the ugly truth, you guys. You might really care for someone. You might really feel good about someone. But at the end of the day, it's kind of like Red says in The Orange is the New Black. I can't do shit with I'm sorry. Like, that's great that you're sorry, but I can't do shit with it. Because if nothing's going to change, then what do we have? Nothing. Not a damn thing. So sometimes we just have to walk away from stuck energy, and it sucks, but we have to do it for ourselves. Because if we don't, we're just going to keep getting hurt. We're just going to keep getting defeated in that Five of Swords energy. So Two of Swords says, being unable or unwilling to make a decision. Follow your own heart rather than trying to make others happy. That guilt energy that came up earlier, pretending there's no problem or overanalyzing a situation. That's the thing. We can remain blind all day long to how someone truly is or who they truly are and make up excuses or pretending it's not that bad. Well, you know what? It is that bad. Because if you find yourself again, like over and over again in the same position or same situation with the same person, guess what? There's a problem. So pretending like it's not that big of a deal, pretending like, well, I can look past that. It's going to rear its ugly head again. And when it does, you're going to have to get rid of it. You see this? You're going to have to just get rid of it and be done with it once and for all. So for me, this is like breaking karmic patterns and karmic cycles and karmic contracts with people. No longer staying stuck because someone doesn't want to change. Somebody can't change. But you want to know who can? You. The viewer can change. And that's where you're going to start strategically putting yourself in a new position in life. You're no longer going to be on this board as the loser. And it's not about being the victor or the winner, but it means like you're just going to be winning in your own life. You're not going to be playing on this board with people that just want chaos. They just want to be miserable. They want to be unhappy, They want to be stuck, and they just are drowning like this toxic energy, this toxic shit energy. And I'm just seeing here, you got to be done with it. And you can do it in a very loving way. We have these hearts here. You don't have to be cutthroat about it. You don't have to say mean things to someone. You just simply just have to make a decision to be done with it and just walk away. Just walk away from a situation, a stinky situation that just doesn't serve you. Trying to overanalyze it and figure out why someone did something, why the way they do this, or why do they operate like this, or do they have a mental disorder? Are they a narcissist? Blah, 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 all that other stuff. You're wasting your time. This person just simply is just either not for you or they're not a good match for you right now. And we've got to find a way to just walk away from this defeating situation. Guys, I know that was kind of tough. So I think I forgot to look at the action. No, I didn't. The questions were, how is my shadow? Oh yeah, I did forget to read it. How is my shadow side overruling my life? Do I need to learn to love my shadow traits? Am I just in survival mode and need to shift myself out of it? Yes. So some of you are just kind of putting up with the situation because maybe you don't know what else to do. Maybe you're just kind of even used to shit. You're used to crap crumbs. And so this is just kind of like, well, I guess I could deal with it. There's nothing else better going on. There's nothing else that, there's nothing else jumping off right now. But if we don't find a way to upgrade our lives, it's never going to upgrade. If we're going to constantly stay stuck to this kind of toxic pattern and behavior and just accept these crap crumbs with people, things are never going to change in our lives. And I just feel like you guys are tired of being stuck. You guys are tired of, in a way, being blocked from your happiness. And the only way out, you guys, I'm sorry, is to make a decision to just cut it out. We've got two weapons here, and that's what needs to, it's like the power of that energy of just being done, as in ending a situation, metaphorically speaking, okay? But just being done with the situation, like it's over, it's done, you're moving on, all right? I know that was some tough love, but hey, that's what these healing and empowerment readings are all about. Because we're ready to look at it. All right, what else do we need to know? All right, we've got, it's a shit show. Oh my gosh, you guys, look at this. You guys can see the little acrobats here. They all have poop heads. It's a shit show. Become aware of the show, become aware of the circus basically that's playing out in front of you. When you really start to see the game that someone's playing with you, it's almost like you gaslight yourself because you don't believe it. You don't believe that somebody could actually go through those many hoops to try to trick you, lie to you, or keep you confused. And when we finally become aware of the show that we're witnessing, that it's just shit and it's something that we need to flush down the toilet. Do you guys see how all of these messages are actually going together? We're just flushing it down the toilet at this point because we don't want it anymore. It really just brings no value to our lives. It just doesn't. And that's okay. So let's actually go ahead and see what the questions are on that since I skipped it last time. So the messages to ask are, what am I not admitting to? Why do I feel the need to self-sacrifice all the time? How can I observe and become more aware of what is going on around me? So this is opening your eyes. Because remember, you guys, the Two of Swords, we're pretending perhaps that there is no problem. No, there's a freaking problem. We need to look at it. We need to look at the good, the bad, and the ugly. So some of you guys are choosing to just focus on somebody's good traits, focus on, well, I know deep down in their heart they're a good person, but yet all they're showing you is shit. I'm sorry, but you've got to pay attention to that. You can be love and light all you want to be, but it's not going to change this person. You can change the way that, of course, you feel about them, as in you don't have to feel so toxically, affected by them. But that doesn't mean they're going to change just because you're holding love and light. This person's going to do what they're going to do as long as they want to do it. So we have to be willing to take off those blinders when it comes to a person's either shitty behavior, and we've got to be willing to walk away. All right, so let's see what else we need to know here with this shit show. Okay, so we have the King of Cups. The King of Cups is Scorpio's energy. And Scorpio, of course, is all about death and transformation. This could be somebody that we feel a very deep energy with. Like we have a lot of love for this person. They're deep in our hearts. You know, we have a lot of compassion for them, etc. So let's see what else we need to know here. The Wheel. What I'm getting here, you guys, though, is that this is actually someone new. It's either a new friend, a new person, or the new you. We have Sagittarius energy coming up again with the Wheel of Fortune. The Wheel of Fortune means that a new cycle is actually coming about. So we're clearing an old cycle, an old karmic cycle with the shit show. So that way we can bring forth a proper person to us, whether that is the proper love that we should be having for ourselves, or someone that is compassionate, understanding, and trustworthy, rather than the shit show of a situation or person. So it is time for us to change the program, change the station, change something up. This is a fresh new start or the end of delays. We're tired of being stuck. We're tired of the delays. Sudden or unexpected progress, a very positive change in your life, travel, or a new vehicle. Now, early on in the beginning of the reading, if this is all connected, which I feel for some of you it could be, some of you guys want to bolt. Some of you guys just feel like a situation is finally closing out and you want to explore new territories. You want to expand your horizons. You want something new because you're tired of this toxic situation. And I am seeing here that once you close up that cycle, then you're going to be able to open yourself up to someone new. Now, we can say all day long, yes, I'm closing a cycle. Yes, I'm leaving that person in the past. But there are some people that say they want to do that, but yet they're still really blocking themselves every step of the way. So I want to meet someone new, but yet I'm still talking to my ex. We're still friends. Or I'm friends with their mom, or I'm friends with their sister, or I'm friends with people that know them, or we're still connected on social media, or I check their social media. I'm obsessed with checking their social media. Yet I know that they're not good for me, but yet, you know, I'm still checking their social media like every second of every day. Now, I know that it's not that crazy for some people, but I feel like there could be some people that definitely are so caught up with this person that they can't even move past their energy to be able to open up the road to something new and fresh. So we have to ask ourselves, are we tired of looking at the same shit? Because if you are, it's time to change the channel. It's time to change the program. It's time to release that old situation so you can move towards something new. And I love that the King of Water, King of Cups, is represented by Scorpio's energy, because this is a true death and transformation. This is the end of a cycle. Like, this is a major one, you guys. I'm getting here that this is a major, because I also see the Wheel of Fortune is connected to karma. But I also see it's connected to fate and destiny. Once we close out certain karmic cycles, we can open ourselves up to what is destined and fated for us in the form of loving partners, right? And it is a part of your destiny and fate to connect with karmic people, yes, to learn certain lessons. But I feel like you guys have been marinating in this for too long, because in a way, it's almost like your own energy field is becoming like this. Your own energy is starting to stink. Your own energy is starting to decay. And that's not good. So we've got to pull ourselves out of that toxic situation so we can start opening ourselves up to people that are actually really worth it, right? That actually care. You know, how hard is that to meet someone that just is cool, that cares, that you can trust? Some of you guys have been hurt so much. Some of you are just so traumatized, and I completely get it. Oh my gosh, there are so many things from my past that have traumatized me, that have caused me to feel certain ways. And some things I'm still trying to shake, and others I have cleared. But it has been hard, and it has been a process, that's for sure. And I'm 47, so it's taken a very long time to process through a lot of the shit that happened in my teen years, all through my 20s, and most of my 30s. Been a long time to process this stuff, you know? So, yeah, it's not about the perfect person, because no one's perfect, right? But when you're willing to make a change, when you are willing to say enough is enough, and I'm going to share this, and I've shared things with you guys in the past, and I know that some of you guys are going to see like this is redundant. You've already heard it before, but I'm just going to say it again. I lived in California my entire life, born, raised Californian. And it was when I was around 35 years old. So Mr. Moon and I, we went to elementary school, junior high, but we actually did not like connect as friends until 9th grade. And, we were just friends, and I knew he liked me, but I just was not into the nice guy. He was such a nice guy. He was this guy. Okay. I didn't want it. I did not want it. I wanted the shit show. I wanted the bad boy. I wanted somebody that didn't love me, somebody that wanted to treat me like trash, all those things. And I can go down that psychological rabbit hole and tell you why I was this way, but I'm just going to spare you guys that long story. But there was reasons why I felt that way. Very attracted to shit. Very attracted to crap crumbs. And this did not interest me. It didn't interest me until I was 35. Okay? When fate and destiny came knocking on my door in the form of Mr. Moon reaching out to me after his karmic cycle with his karmic partner was over, reaching out to me on Facebook. But what's interesting is that even when he reached out to me, it wasn't immediate. I was still in a karmic relationship and cycle with someone else. And it was a shit show. It absolutely was a shit show. I was probably the most miserable I had ever been in my entire life. I had just actually, I was on the tail end of another just devastating heartbreak, something that like literally transformed my life in a significant way. And so I had so many wounds already, and I just felt so low about myself. I just literally was hanging on by a thread. And so when Mr. Moon came into my life and wanted to connect, I was just like, I felt so bad about myself. I was ashamed of where I was at. And, I hadn't, not that this is like some kind of a achievement or accomplishment, but I was just like, wow, like, I just never been married. I don't have my life together. Like, I've done nothing. I've done nothing of significance here. And I just felt ashamed. So I told him to give me a call when he got into town, and I just totally blew him off. Just totally blew it off. And probably another 6 months went by, and the things in my situation were seriously like, it was the end of it. It was so toxic. It was so bad. I was just like, ugh. And I really was thinking about, because my daughter at the time, she was doing online school, so she could technically relocate anywhere. And so we were actually talking about perhaps moving. And we were thinking, what's close by? Arizona. I'm like, well, gosh, I know my husband, now husband, but I know him. And maybe we'll connect with him. So I reached out. And when I reached out, it was cool because like we started talking and everything was fine. And there was nothing romantic at all. There really wasn't. I didn't really have that in my head at all because we had a little thing like a fling in high school, but then I quickly squashed it. According to him, you'll hear him say it sometimes. It just totally broke his heart, blew him to smithereens, the whole bit. And, he obviously moved on with his life and got married and had kids, that whole karmic cycle. And then I went in another direction. But anyways, to make a long story short, we connected as friends. And I said, hey, my daughter and I, we want to go and we want to try a new place and just kind of check it out and see how it is. So we came down here, and within a couple of days, there was something that just happened. I can't really explain it to you guys, but all I know is that after spending a week here in Arizona, I knew without a shadow of a doubt that he was my person. I knew without a shadow of a doubt that this is where I belonged. So the reason that I'm bringing this up is because that's destiny. You know that is your destined path. So you feel this pull. You feel this urge. You feel this feeling that you just can't shake. That's destiny. You just know that something is that's just the way it's supposed to be. So I remember it was very, very difficult to leave. We both were like crying, which was just so odd, right? When I left. But as soon as I went back, I was so sure. I gave 30 days notice at my job. And in 30 days, I came here. You know what I mean? And not that everything was perfect and hunky-dory. I'll save that for another time. But the thing is, I was destined to be here. I was destined to be married to him. I was destined to be a part of his kid's life. He was destined to be a part of my daughter's life. We were destined to just be partners and many other things. We were destined to have 10 cats together. Oh my God, who would have ever known? He is my soulmate on so many levels. You know, he loves Halloween. He loves cats now. And it's not perfect, but it's damn good. You know what I mean? So guys, I'm only saying this, and I hope this didn't just completely sideswipe the whole reading, but when you know, you know. And so when you're constantly, if I would have stayed connected to all that shit, all those broken relationships, all that stuff, I just would have continued to be in the circuit with a bunch of shitheads. Literally. But I was ready for a nice guy. I was ready to just give love, real love, a chance. Somebody that loved me, somebody that wanted to connect with me. And even though it has been uncomfortable in some ways over the years, you know, I've worked on certain aspects through counseling and through other therapies, and got to the core issue as to why it was so difficult for me to let someone in to love me the way that he does. So when we first came around, it wasn't the right timing, but the second time around was the right timing. So I never want to say to anybody that something could never change, but it's usually not going to change when you're hanging on to it for dear life, when you're obsessed over it, when you're putting your life on hold for someone. It's usually never going to change when you're focused on it. It's going to change like magic when you're just living your life, moving on, carrying on, and doing something else. That's usually when things start to shift. So anyways, long-winded, crazy, that's what I have for you. So we need to become more aware of people in front of us, the people around us. What are we focused on? What are we not focused on? Let's get focused. If you want to bring something new in your life, focus on out there. Focus on the horizon. Stop focusing on these shitheads because it's getting you nowhere. That's the message. So anyways. Oh, geez. All right, let's keep going. So I'm going to probably call this this particular reading Tough Love Story Time, because obviously I'm sharing a lot of my own stories. And I have gotten some messages from you guys that actually love it. Maybe some don't. That's okay. No worries. But I always feel, you know, when you guys can connect with people, you know, such as the reader that has lived certain experiences and has had them and, you know, can share whatever wisdom they've learned from their situations, I think that that can be helpful. Lonely Luna Sista. Remove all negative energy imprints. So let's go ahead and get the questions that go with this one. This says, what ritual practices can I bring into my life to help me right now? How does the weather affect my moods? When I walk into a room, do I feel the energy of it? And how does this affect me? So this to me is about us being energy sensitive, okay? The imprints that the energy basically has upon, that imprints upon us. How does the moon cycles? This is also about your cycle, you guys, for you guys out there that, you know, are menstruating or maybe not. Cycles of your moods, mood swings that come up perhaps with certain hormones, all ages, obviously. There's lots of things going on. This is about maybe keeping a calendar, writing certain things down, knowing when you feel certain ways, how to take care of yourself. Maybe it's time to just do something for you when things are feeling like a crisis. Maybe it's time to pull back. Maybe you can't work on certain things at certain times. All these things are okay. So I'm getting here that this message is about self-care and giving yourself permission to relax, giving yourself permission to rest when you need to, knowing your cycles and knowing that not every single moment of every single month is going to be the same. Oh, I love that. The Nine of Cups. The Nine of Cups is beautiful because not only is it a wish fulfillment card, it is a card of your ultimate happiness on your own. All of your own cups are full. You're feeling good on your own. So to me, this is about sitting in our energy, being our own best friends, being our own counterparts, because I think that so many times we're looking for a counterpart, and I have a counterpart. So it is easier for me to sit back and go, oh, now I can work on my own cups, because I've had that judgment before where I've had some people in the comments say, well, what the hell do you know about it? You have someone. And it's like, well, I get what you're saying, but I have been in certain people's shoes before too. And then I just made different choices and I changed my life. But I know what it's like not to be lonely and to be unhappy and to want someone that just shares your same vision, shares your same values, etc. And how that came into my life does feel magical, but I feel like it was just time. And I think that sometimes there's certain cycles that we don't let go of. And so what ends up happening is we end up staying stuck. And then sometimes we do let go of certain cycles and people, and then our paths open up for new things. So in the meantime, of course, it is all about fulfilling our own cups and learning to love ourselves, which I'm still doing even though I have a partner, a person. The Eight of Wands. You know what? Sometimes I've actually been kind of jealous of my single friends because they have a lot of time to do certain things. Like I have this friend, right? And, she's like, yeah, I woke up and I did, 2 hours of meditation instead of 1. And then I did my yoga, and I'm just like, wow, like that must be really, really cool. You know what I mean? When I wake up, my schedule is a little bit different. I get my husband off to work and, I have to take care of the cats, and you know what I mean? Like there's just certain things that are just different. And yes, could I shift my priorities and do things differently? Absolutely, I could. But it's just funny though, because sometimes I'm like, wow, like you have all this time to do all this stuff and it's just you, right? But then I know on their end, it's like, well, but you have someone, you have a partner to share these things with. So to me, it's just about trying to be happy with just where you're at and loving where you're at, no matter if it's alone or you're with someone, right? But the Eight of Wands is about movement forward, moving out of stuck, stagnant energy, traveling, because it says too much going on. If you're feeling bogged down, tired, resentful, cranky, irritable, there's some kind of energy that's not working or that needs to go or that is stuck in your life. So this is about moving through energy. That's Eight of Wands, because it says too much going on, stress that can be caused by a lot of positive opportunities. So for instance, when I first started my business, it was like, oh my God, this is the best thing ever. I'm living my dream. I'm so excited, but whoa, so much happened. Too many things happened so fast that I just got to the point where I was like, I love this, but I'm exhausted. I love this, but like, where am I going to take care of myself? And I struggled for a long, long time. So to me, this is basically saying that we've got to be able to multitask, which is what this says, the ability to multitask. Make time for the things that we love, make time for the people perhaps that we love, but also make time for ourselves. So we can be the jack of all trades. We can do multiple things at one time. So if you're finding yourself feeling certain ways, pay attention to that. And make a change where you need to make a change. If something isn't making you happy, then stop doing it, right? Spend a little bit more time filling up your own cups, maybe then, filling up everyone else's cup instead of your own. So if you're feeling depleted, maybe don't give that day. Maybe don't do certain things that day. Like all week for the last, I think it was 3 days, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, I was like, I think it was Monday, I did the collective reading on Mystic Moon, I think. Yeah. But I was like, I'm just not feeling it for this channel. So guess what? I honored it. And I didn't do it because I wasn't feeling it. And I thought about it. First of all, I'm not that important at all. So it's not this inflated sense of ego that, oh my gosh, if I don't post a reading, people are going to wonder where it is. Not like that. But there was a part of me that was like, oh, but I really need to. And I'm like, why? Why do I need to? Why do I need to? This is one of the reasons that I don't do memberships. I'm a Sagittarius, and this Sag girl, she needs freedom to just kind of come and go as she feels it. And so if I'm locked into, you guys are getting these particular readings this particular time, like that's going to cause stress for me, and I'm not going to be happy, and I'm going to be resentful, and I'm not going to enjoy it. So it's one of the reasons that I stayed away from memberships for pretty much this entire time. And I know that works for some people. It just doesn't work for me at this time. So anyways, yes, that right there is honoring your feelings, and you don't have to be like everybody else. That's another thing. If something makes someone else happy and it's working for them, cool. That doesn't mean it has to work for you. You're your own individual person. You're unique. You have something unique to bring to the table. So it is time for you to celebrate this. So remove all these negative energy imprints, this negative, just like thought that if you don't do this or you don't do that, then, everything's going to crumble. No, it's not. It's not going to crumble. It's not going to crumble. The only thing that is going to crumble is your own cups at the end of the day. So it doesn't mean you don't have to put energy towards things or that you don't have to work to make things, happen. But make your life and do the things that you want to do the way that you want to do them. Do the things that you want to do because you want to do them. Okay? Because if you don't, then you're not really honoring how you're really feeling. If you're not feeling it, just don't do it. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. All right. Let's see what else we need to know. Cracked crystal. Time to heal yourself. Wow. Yeah. All right. So we have 8. What is my favorite way to heal my wounds? What is the best way to fix and repair my crystalline energy body? What do I want to help me heal? So these are healing things for us, you guys. Some of you guys could be energy workers, healers. You're constantly working with other people, but you're not really tending to yourself. Okay, I have a tendency to do that, which is why... And I think a lot of people had asked, what was I doing, for like the healing that I had mentioned. Either it was on this channel or the other channel. And Codependence Anonymous, that's something that I'm doing right now. And it's really, really helping me to stay on track with working certain steps with myself. And I found that to be very, very helpful for me. And so any energy or anything that's going on within you that feels like it's off or just like this cracked energy, it might be time for you to take some action steps towards how we can heal. How can I heal the self? What do I need to do in order to heal? With the Ace of Cups. Yeah, the Ace of Cups is your cup. It's your cup, you guys. It's the relationship that you have with yourself, which is why there's just one person there. There's not two. Yes, the angel is there, but the Two of Cups shows 2 people. 3 of Cups are 3 people. This is just you. So we need to start with our own cup, okay? It's very, very important. So we have emotions, relationships, and intuition. So this is about the emotional connection and relationship that we have with ourselves. And once we're coming from that fuller cup, we're going to be able to experience things on a whole new level. We're going to trust ourselves more. We're not going to be so depleted and scattered. We're not going to be so exhausted, right? We're going to have enough water in that cup to be able to accurately tap into our higher self and our needs. So we have the Two of Pentacles, which is, it says working too hard or multiple jobs, the need to bring balance and fun into your life, juggling multiple priorities, balancing the budget. So yeah, this right here is basically saying there's too much going on. Some of you guys just need to slow down. Some of you guys actually need to get rid of something. And I've thought about this for a while, and I'm only going to put it out there because I know a lot of people are excited about this channel, but it's one of those things where I'm just like, I love it because it's a place that I can come and just do these kinds of readings. A lot of people over on Mystic Moon just want to focus on soul connection. But when I did like a little, questionnaire kind of thing to see what people wanted to see more on Mystic Moon. And a lot of people, to my surprise, were like, we want to see more readings on healing the self. And I was just like, whoa, like that's why I created the other channel. So I'm just trying to figure out a way to like make my life work and make things worth my time and my energy. and spreading myself across 2 channels, I'm just not really sure. So is this something that I can continue to do, or is it depleting my cup? So I don't know. I'm kind of in the air right now with what I'm going to do. And, it's not about necessarily the following count. It's more the views. And if I'm not getting the views or the likes and the engagement, then I'm basically doing this and I'm not getting any compensation. Like I said, I don't charge for anything, and I do ask for donations. I rarely get them, and I do appreciate those of you that have, definitely done that. I really, really appreciate it. But, a lot of people just kind of come and they listen and they just go. They don't realize how much effort, time, and energy this kind of stuff takes. So I'm only bringing that up because, I'm kind of going through some struggles too, where I'm trying to figure out, like, what's going to work for me? What is going to work for me? How am I going to honor myself while also offering something of value to the channel? So it's kind of an up in the air situation right now. So if you guys are kind of feeling the same way, where maybe you have too much going on, or you're trying to just like, you're spreading yourself too thin, it might be a time to take a look at maybe doing something a little bit different, or just shaving something off that's just kind of not worth your time, or, being a little bit more, what's the word I'm looking for? Just not diligent, where you're like giving things to other people, other tasks. Oh my gosh, I can't think of the word. But you guys know what I'm talking about. Like, you're just delegating. That's it. Delegating tasks to other people. Kind of like, hey, you do this and I'll do that. Teamwork, baby. Right? Because sometimes we do have a tendency to do everything ourselves. And it's sometimes time for us to, take back a little bit of that need to control everything or do everything and ask other people to help out. Right? All right, so let's go ahead and let's get one last message, because I feel like we're already going almost into an hour, and I feel like we've got that. Ooh, I love this. Hippie, higher self. Raise your vibration. Okay, so raise your vibration. So let's read it. 21. This says, what can I do right now to raise my vibration? What makes me happy? How am I depriving myself of experiencing joy? All right, let's take a look. Okay, so we have the 4 of Earth, 4 of Pentacles. She's sitting there on that treasure chest. She's got that door. It's locked. It says frugalness, extravagance, and control. Okay, so we are trying to control something, perhaps, if that resonates with you. Maybe we feel like, I need to do this. I need to do that. I need to save. I can't have fun. I can't spend money because, I don't know when the next paycheck's coming in, etc. And those are real worries, you guys. Those definitely are. So I'm not like trying to suggest, don't worry about it. Just throw caution to the wind. It's no big deal. Raise your vibration. It'll all work out. Look, I've done that before and that shit hasn't worked. So that's not going to be the answer for everyone. Okay. I think it's a little bit more than just positive thoughts and saying some affirmations. But what I'm seeing here is that if something is just still not really working, it might be time for you. Like, if you're unhappy already and you're not, let's just say, making great money, or things are tight, then what do we really have to lose at this point except for our stress and unhappiness? That's what I feel like the message is. Okay. The message is, we feel like we're maybe in control or getting ahead, but at what cost? Is it really worth it? Right? Is something really worth it? Right? And we have strength, personal power, and assertiveness portrayed with kindness, compassion that brings about forgiveness, realizing that you're stronger than you knew. This is Leo's energy. So to me, this is basically saying that we can shift our vibe, obviously, and we don't have to do it in this energy where it's like super powerhouse, like, I need to take control. I need to do this. I need to do that. I need to be in charge. I need to be working, all these hours. I need to just do all these things. I feel like something is dampening our vibration because we're not happy. We're just not happy. It's almost like we're a slave to what we do. We're a slave to the money. We're a slave to the thing that we're getting. But is it really truly making us happy? That's where the question is. So if you're doing something that does not make you happy, I feel like that is what the question is. Is it worth what you're receiving? Is it really worth it in the end? So to me, this is a little bit more complex. So I'm going to get a couple more cards here. Ooh, 5 of Earth. Look at this. So what's going on here when cards do this? We're going from the 4 to the 5. So this right here is this door, right? That's locked. There's this angel that's opening the door. And it says lack, worry, and assistance. So there actually is something, and you can see here in the windows, there's all like those like coins, but also to me, they kind of look like suns. So there's actually something else that would be better for us if we just let go a little. If we just let go of our need to do it our way, to be stubborn or to be in control of something, if we just let go a little, then we can let some light in, we can let some solution in that can help us to maybe do things differently, to shift our vibration, to make a little bit of a necessary change. Because the way that we're going right now, this is only going to be if it resonates for you. It actually is a false sense of security. It's a false sense of strength. The strength card can also be connected to ego. And, the ego wants to seem or wants to put on the appearance that they have it together. But do they really? Right? Do they really have it together? Do you really have it together? Are you really spread so thin, but the image of having it together or being strong for everyone else, are we putting that in front of our own happiness? Right? So it's like it takes great strength and courage to admit that something isn't working, or to admit that whatever we're doing isn't working. So this could be work. This could be a relationship. This could just be a way of living. And we have the Page of Pentacles. Yeah, the Page of Pentacles is a new seed. It's new. Learn something new. Go about a situation in a new way. This says scholarly, cheerful, dependable, and it says time to get to work. An excellent opportunity presents itself. Opportunity. It says happy news about your career, promotions, or scholarships, a new area of study. So if you guys are doing something that's not working, I feel like we're being given an opportunity, like a new door will be opening, and it's literally what it says. It says an opportunity presents itself to give you an opportunity to study something new, to go about something a different way. Something that will actually put you in a position where you feel good again. So if you're wasting your time and getting nowhere with a project or a business or a relationship or just a way of life, Spirit is basically coming in to say, have we thought about doing this instead? Or are we closing ourselves off because we're too stubborn and we don't want to admit that something is a dead end? I'm going to get one last card, or one last set of cards on this. Very interesting little story popping out here. So we want to raise our vibration. We want to be happy. We want to feel powerful. But we're like giving our power over to something else that's actually zapping us and not making us happy at all. So this is all earth energy coming up, you guys. This may be work related, or this may be with something that you guys want to do with your life, your career, your purpose, your mission. But the 3 of Earth, 3 of Pentacles is teamwork. And remember, I was talking about delegating. This is about collaborating and working together. So let's just say some of you guys are trying to just do your own thing. You're very stubborn. You're like, nope, I don't want anyone else involved. I just want to do my own thing. I've got this. I've got this. And Spirit's saying, are you sure? You sure about that? Because this, you're not really getting anywhere. You're just maintaining. You're not really growing. You're not really expanding. You're not really like branching off. But this angel is opening the door and saying, hey, if you just let some assistance in, maybe somebody help you, maybe come together and collaborate with someone, right? Maybe perhaps you're going to recognize that two heads are better than one. Maybe that person that's trying to give you advice right now is a little bit more wise and has some experience under their belt. Maybe they know a thing or two. Why aren't we listening to this person? So, interesting story. All right, let's just see what else. Will we get another pentacle? I don't know, because these are all pentacles so far. Okay, so these two cards just want to pop out, so we will read them together, and neither one of them are a pentacle. So some of you guys could be dealing with a conflict with someone else. And it does say conflicts with other people caused by opposing opinions. Walk away from drama unless the situation is really worth your time. Then stand up for yourself. Very ambitious people. And then we have the Ten of Cups. A happy marriage, happily ever after, emotional contentment, a loving relationship with your children, raising children wisely and successfully, people that you can trust. So, to me, all this change, right, is actually going to lead you to less conflict with yourself, less conflict with others, and you're going to just be more of a you're going to have that happier vibration, and it's going to lead to your ultimate happiness, which could, of course, lead to not perfect, but the ideal partnership, the family that you've always wanted, the work family that you've always wanted, the dream that you've always had for yourself. To me, it's like you're on your road to getting that. The road that you're currently on right now, it's like it won't get you there. So this last message is a little harsh because it's basically saying we've got to step aside from our ego. We've got to step aside from this thought that we know everything, because we don't. It's kind of like a child. You'll try to tell a child something and they don't listen. And then, of course, years later, maybe decades later, you were so right. You were so right. You know what I mean? But sometimes we're just too much in our egos and we don't want to take into consideration that maybe somebody is onto something, or maybe somebody is right about something. Maybe the road that you're on right now isn't the best road for you. Maybe it's not the smartest choice. Maybe you didn't invest wisely. Or maybe you've done all that you can do, but now it's time to go in another direction. So whatever this is, it is time for you to get back on the drawing board, but go about it in a different way so you can create a different result. And I'm just seeing that you guys want to create this result here, which is the Ten of Cups. But you won't get there as long as you're just kind of chilling and hanging out, pretending like there's not a problem, telling yourself, I got this, I don't need anyone. Getting here, you probably do need someone, as in you need to connect with someone, whether it's the love within, mothering, like parenting yourself. This could be connecting with an actual person in the physical world, somebody who is worldly, somebody that has lived, somebody that knows, somebody who's experienced that can help you. But I feel like trying to do it on your own hasn't worked this whole time. So now it's time for you to open yourself up to suggestions with people and kind of just getting out of your own stubborn way. So I don't know what that means to somebody out there, but that actually speaks to me on something specific. It's not work related, but it's something else. And I'm just like, ooh. And it's funny because I was very resistant just yesterday talking to a friend of mine, and I was just like, oh yeah, I'm not ready for this. Oh yeah, no, I don't want to do that. No. I don't want that. And I remember her advice was very kind and very loving, just very accepting, because she knows where I'm at. She knows me. She's known me for 20 years. So she knows me. And she was just kind of like, well, has what you've done has it worked? And I'm like, fuck, it hasn't. It hasn't worked. She's like, how's it going? I'm like, it's not going great. You know, it's like you have to be willing to do things different to get a different result, you guys. And that, I feel, is the message today. So Spirit just used me and a lot of my stuff and a lot of my defects and a lot of my experiences to drive some of these messages home for you guys, to, you know, kind of takes one to, like, you know, see one, recognize one, know one. And so I hope that that was helpful to someone out there. And not all of this may have resonated with you guys. No worries. You just take what did and definitely get rid of the rest. So anyways, that's what I have for you guys. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please give it a thumbs up and make sure that you're subscribed, because I do want to try to continue to keep this channel afloat. But at some point, if it just continues to kind of you know, I'll have to make some decisions down the line. But for now, we're just going to keep continuing, keep trekking on, and you know, just see how it all unfolds. So anyways, you guys, thanks so much for your support. For all of you that have been subscribed to me here on the channel, that like my videos, that engage in my videos. I noticed that there's some of you guys in the comments that are just like, you know, just bombing me with all kinds of love. And I just want you to know, I see you, I hear you, I appreciate you. Thank you so much. I don't always have time to go into the comments and actually like respond to people, but I do see them because I have to confirm them, accept them, you know, because I have my comments held, you know, because I just don't like some of the comments that come through. It's just like people are attacking other people and like trying to like tell other people stuff, like crazy religious shit. And I'm just like, nah, get out of here, you know? So I do see them, but I just wanted you guys to know that I don't always have time to respond, but I do appreciate it. And I love you guys so much. So thank you again. I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.